Everyone is here.
Hi.
Oh, welcome. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, chat, for being here. I'm excited. As always, let me know, chat, if anything's off with the sound, if anything with the balance, and I will fix that as we go. But yeah, welcome. I thought it would be fitting to just ask you guys first to introduce yourselves. How would you describe yourselves? And also just a little bit about like your background with music, RPGs, how you got started with all this. So I don't know, whichever one wants to take it away.
You can go
You
first.
can start. Oh, fuck me.
Oh, also, chat, if you post any questions, I will be reading throughout and try to like incorporate it as we go when it fits into conversation.
Sure. We could also like, if you want, we could separate like a section specifically for questions by the end.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That also works. Whatever is best for you.
Yes. We'll see how it goes.
I'm going to start then.
Yes.
All right. Hi, I'm Alice Schiavoto, or Alice do Gritei, as they used to call me 84 years ago. I make music. I also used to create RPG content online. It's been a long time since I've, made something like that. I really miss being a DM. But I did that a lot in the past, and that's actually what got me started into all of this insanity. And I think my first contact with RPG was maybe around 2015, and sporadically we used to play some campaigns or one-shots in school or with school friends at someone's place. But I think it was really Ordem which got me into the RPG world per se back in 2020 with Segredo na Floresta. And, I just watched that and I really liked the format, the fact that we were all seeing the players. There were like artwork, soundtracks and everything, and I just thought that was amazing, which led me to create my own RPG channel later on. I already made music back then. I started making music, I think it was in 2015 again, so around 10 years now. And I already had some knowledge of it when I started, but definitely not as much as life has given me throughout the years that I've been making content. And specifically since I entered Ordem with Guimo, because that really spiked our experience and knowledge and skill to the fucking ceiling. So like it was necessary, of course, but it's always very insane to just look back and see all your trajectory and where it's brought you nowadays. But that's me. I make art.
Nice. And who do we have on my other side?
Hi. My name is Guimo. I am a music producer, guitarist, vocalist, and other stuff. I first started playing RPGs in, I think it's the same time of Alice, like roughly 2015, sometime around that. I played mostly online. I didn't play it a lot in person for some years. And I think the same thing, the same path happened of like playing for years, and mainly I played with foreign people, like people from other countries. So I started practicing English by playing RPG.
That's awesome.
Mainly. And for some years I did that. Times goes by, people grow up, we kind of separated, but I fell down the Ordem Paranormal rabbit hole, as everyone here did. and I fell in love with the whole idea of playing RPGs and watching RPGs again. There's other RPG medias in Brazil that are huge, like the Nerdcast RPG. So this one was one that was really important for me as well, for watching it and such. And by the time I reconnected with music, which was a thing that I always enjoyed, but I didn't spend a lot of time practicing. So I started playing guitar in 2020, and one thing led to another, started working with music, and then here we are.
Amazing.
I really enjoy game soundtracks in general. I wanted to work with soundtracks mainly for game purposes. So by being a huge Mega Man fan, Undertale fan, and other games like that, it sparkled that flame of I want to do that, and thankfully now I do that. So I guess we are in a good place right now.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, as so Malfunctioning Blood, my dad in chat is my dad, and as he just said, there's kind of the opposite of me. Apparently, I run a language channel with occasional gaming, but I, you know, were you saying you were learning, like, practicing English through RPG? Well, like I've been practicing and learning Portuguese through engaging with RPGs. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, real quick, I think Guimo's subtitles stopped working.
Oh no.
I believe.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, no. Let me wait if I
think my edge closed.
Oh, hold on.
Let me.
He will be back.
And now
He will be back.
it will be back,
I'm
and
trying
then
to reconnect it.
refresh.
It's okay.
Okay. I think the whole window closed. I don't know why though. I didn't close it. I'll do my best to fix it fast.
I can say that there was a praise from chat from Mini Hollow. Obrigado por seguir. Vou tatuar essa OST inteira. Que músicas gostosas. Nossa Senhora.
I kind of want to do that too. Like, if we would actually give ourselves the work of transcribing everything into tabs and sheet music, which we will not do.
This won't happen.
Then I would tattoo everything if I could.
Yeah, I've been told that we spoke a little bit about what it like a successful stream would be beforehand. That one of the success criteria is that no one demands the entire tab of any piece of music. So you're not allowed to ask for that.
Yeah.
So how did you guys start working together? Did you meet through Ordem, or did you know beforehand? How did that connection and working relationship happen?
Oh, sorry. I think I missed the question. ADHD mode.
That's so fine. How did you guys start working together, basically?
Oh yeah. I've known this man for like more than 2 years already. More than 3 years actually.
Yeah.
We were friends back when this whole RPG content creation started. We made a lot of friends, and we met basically. There was this Discord server with everyone in, and everyone befriended each other back at the start. And so we were already friends back in 2023, which is when we got into Ordem. And basically, you know, Juvie left, and all of a sudden she messaged me back then. I think maybe what motivated her was the key and cover that I made. And well, she contacted me, she invited me, said she was leaving, and then wanted me to take her place. And I was like, okay, we have a week to make an entire soundtrack, less than a week. And it's gonna be incredible, because I was already a huge fan of Ordem. You know, like I made this right here in 2021, you know, like this shit right here.
Oh my god, the Santo
So,
Verso.
yeah, so like it happens to the best of us. There we go, we're back. Everyone is back. Can you just turn on the webcam here for us on
Yes.
Discord?
Exactly.
Nice.
Audio camera, and then. Okay, is that the right one you can
And
see?
you just got someone to participate
Yep.
with us too.
Perfect.
Everyone is perfect.
Oh, look
Hello.
at the cat.
Orfeo.
Oh, amazing.
Little Orpheus.
Well,
Yeah,
we're
he's very
back.
gay. That's a gay cat, if I've ever
Yes.
seen one. He's very, very gay.
Nice. All right. So,
Okay.
I think the last thing I heard was
Mhm.
that you guys had a week to do a soundtrack.
Yeah. It was
Yep.
less than that. That was for Quarantena.
That sounds
And,
crazy.
Yeah, and like the episode was premiering on Saturday. Juvi left on Tuesday and invited me on Tuesday. I started working on Wednesday, so it was like 3 days. But then like when I started, where I was going with it is that when I started working on it, we immediately realized, oh yeah, we're gonna need guitars, and MIDI guitars do not sound good. And we needed an actual guitarist because Juvi played literally every instrument that exists. That woman is a genius. I don't play guitar. I just play piano and flute. And I immediately then hit up my friend who, played guitar and invited him. So we started, working like crazy, but it was incredible. It was amazing.
Yeah, because
I already knew him, but yeah.
Yeah, because I did have just like wanting to hear quickly about Quarantena as well, because that was your guys' first time working with
Yeah.
Ordem, right? So, and I had no idea everything happened so fast then.
It
Like-
was incredibly fast. Like we had a very short time to do everything. For me, it was hard. For Alice, it was even harder.
Mhm.
Suffered a lot that week. But on the Saturday,
yeah.
we were like we were partying and
Yeah, we
together
did.
on a fair that happened nearby. So it was a good day.
It seems like it was
Yeah,
kind of
it was a very iconic day.
like a trial by fire for everybody, because it was like you guys were new, we had new script
Yep.
writers, it was the first time in English, it was like first new
Yep.
studio, like everything about Quarantena is different. And then everybody kind of went in that together. But
Yeah.
what there's a lot said about it in the fandom. Personally, I'm incredibly thankful. It brought our side of the world in contact with Ordem. And yeah, that is amazing. So how was it? Said a little bit about like Juvi obviously was doing the music on Segredo na Floresta, and then from Segredo na Floresta until Quarantena, right? All the way through?
Yeah, like she did the opening for Quarantena, and
Yes.
yeah, that's right. So until I think before Quarantena, it was Sinais do Outro Lado, I think, and until then, like until that season, she made the entire OST.
Mhm.
So she made the opening for Quarantena, and I made the rest of the soundtrack basically.
Yes.
Me and Guimo. Yeah.
So
And yeah, no, it was insane. It was insane.
So what's it been like kind of taking over a project that already had a musical style kind of established by someone, and in terms of like taking what has already been shown and then making it cohesive, but obviously being able to take it in new ways and new directions?
Yeah. Like, I obviously was shitting my pants because, like, I was a huge fan of it, and it literally changed my life before I even got in it, right? And there was initially this sort of conflict between keeping the existence, at least for me personally, right? Like keeping the existing style and bringing my own style, which I did. And like it was challenging, but very freeing when, you know, people actually loved it, and Selbit himself never, you know, stopped me from bringing my style and Guimo's style as well. Because in Quarantena, Guimo did mostly guitar like recordings and solo composing, and in Natal Macabro we started actually co-composing. Like he actually composed a lot of stuff. So especially in Hexatombe. But it was a little conflicting. It was a little hard. I'm gonna give him the word in just a second, so he can, you know, speak aside. But overall, it was very satisfying to see the feedback and people like
For sure.
overwhelmingly welcoming to us as the new composers, because my main fear was, you know, backlash.
Yes.
And people like, oh, we miss her, you know, and you suck because you're not her, and that happened. If I ever saw like 4 tweets about that specific subject in my entire life, it was a lot.
I
So,
don't think I've
yeah.
seen any in those years at all.
Yeah.
No, like I remember like watching Quarantena, that like one of the things that was brought up again was Nirere and the Nirere soundtrack, and how amazing that whole introduction and music was. And then again for Natal Macabro, all I've seen is just like praise. And
Yeah.
Thankfully.
yeah, I mean, and I
Thankfully.
know as I've been watching Hexatombe, I've kept being like, what is this music? There's been so many battle sequences where I've like forgotten to fully pay attention to the battle because I'm just sitting there appreciating the music. So yeah, I definitely think it's you know, it's been amazing to have you guys on board with it. But yeah, Guimo, the question you just quickly lost, which kind of ties into this, was how, you know, just quickly touching on Quarantena, starting that, but then also what was it like coming into a musical style or project that already had that established style, and then trying to continue that whilst making it your own?
It was, as Alice said, it was frightening a lot. We knew we had like a expectation bar that was so high that we needed to fulfill. So at least for me, when the Alice called me to participate, the first thing was the shock of, okay, this is happening, this is nice. And the next hour was like me freaking out and thinking, okay, so I'll have to basically fill shoes that I don't think I am ready to now, but as you said before, it's like this trial fire thing, that it's the time you need to do something, and thankfully we did. Yes, we have the space to express ourselves, to do our thing, and it's great because me, Alice, Selbit, we all have like different inspirations from music. We all think music differently, but even with that, we can work around that and do something great altogether. Like Alice is more pushed to a version of power metal thingies. She goes more for that.
Progressive as well.
Yeah, I tend to go a lot more to the metalcore scene, to the emo-core scene, to the hardcore scene, and things like that. Selbit, he goes kind of to both sides, I think, so it helps to mix all together. So at first, there was like some little nitpicking of finding the right sound, but we got to it very quick. One fun thing, I recorded all the OST songs from Quarantena with a guitar, and when it ended, I re-recorded everything with the same guitar but modded. So, which is the same guitar I use until now, basically. So I pretty much recorded everything 2 times. With a better
remember
sound.
that.
With a better sound, of course. So it was fun. It was a challenge. But I feel very thankful that the people received us so well. And the love we got all the way to now. It's just amazing to see that people were inspired by our work and the things that we were able to manage together.
I think a thing
Totally.
that's also like cool to hear and that I've heard from like every side of production is the fact that like people that end up working with Ordem were already fans and already had a love for the project. So like everyone on it brings that love towards it. It's not like a, oh, you were a musician and then like, oh yeah, I can do this thing. It's like, no. Ordem was a part of your life already.
Yeah, it was. And also quickly addressing something that was just mentioned in chat by a nifty little name about the more complex strings
Yes.
we have been getting. And like that is something that I really like to talk about because like metal wise, I'm obviously more pushed towards power prog and symphonic. But my favorite thing to do is orchestra. Like
I have been loving the
complete-
orchestral and
Yeah,
choral
like-
things for this season so much.
It's great. Like I am a massive, classical nerd, and I love orchestrating. I love, layers upon layers upon layers upon layers of instruments and strings and those mixing channels with 80 fucking channels or more. I like that shit, like when I have time to actually do a complex orchestrated piece and I can do that, it really makes me feel very fulfilled because I love it. I just love Velisad is likely one of my favorite ones in matters of complexity. Yeah, like the complexity in that song is way deeper than you can hear on the episode itself. It took like, I don't know, more than 12 hours to compose or something like that, because I really like complex things. I like complex strings. I like harmonies. I like string quartets especially, and it really it is good to be able to express that fully, especially now in Hexatombe, because we kind of were holding back a little bit in Quarentena and Natal Macabro. Quarentena mostly because of the time and of course the vibe. It was an energy and blood season mostly, and Natal Macabro was mostly like just straight up blood and shit. So I think the only orchestrated piece was the timer song, Expectativa, maybe Jai's theme, X, and but Hexatombe has a little bit of everything, so I can like go everywhere I want, and we can explore multiple different genres. And Haziel's theme is probably my favorite, and our favorite, I think.
For sure.
Yeah,
the project had space for us to do like pretty much everything. Like it had space for orchestra, it had space for the ugliest guitar sounds we could manage to find for some songs. It's basically the moment we've been waiting for since we entered, and it's been that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like just there are several teams, and every team has their own theme, and every theme has their own identity, and we kind of go everywhere all at once all the time, and it's really complete. I think this soundtrack is the most complete so far because it has possibly like the max we can do, like the top of our capabilities almost sometimes, with a lot of different genres that we can explore.
Yeah, I fully agree, and I have like 10 different questions I feel like I can go into from this, because there you've all like touched on different things I had written down, so we'll just so many good questions from chat as well. So many.
Mhm.
Vitor Maele's music asked it if you want to speak a little bit of the process on arranging the like orchestra pieces.
Yeah, that will be me, I think.
Yes.
Okay, so I compose mostly. My style of composition, I mean, is a little different, although it's not necessarily better or worse, which is important to say in advance, because like there are people who need to play an instrument to be able to compose. There are people who need to sing, and although I can do that, and sometimes it flows better, I always compose in my head first. Like, I hear the music in my head, and I can kind of build it while I'm not, sitting in front of the computer. I can build the layers in here, which is very helpful. And sometimes I'm just like sitting here and, when you're waiting for inspiration, so I just like stare at the screen and then close my eyes and I just let my brain do its thing. And it's usually how I start every song. I have an idea and then I develop that idea. An orchestra kind of works the same way, but I usually figure out more things as I compose it in the DAW itself, because of the amount of layers it has. So sometimes a bass structure comes in my mind, like the melody, a motif, or harmonies, but usually it's the main melody, and then I develop on top of that. First I try to pick up which section of instruments will have the main focus, if it's going to be a string-driven melody or a brass or woodwinds-driven melody, and then the other sections tend to come to complement it, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So I start with the main melody and I work on harmonies and different, progressions for every instrument. I'm not going to make like violin, cellos, and basses do the same thing. They all complement each other. And then we, after like, okay, the strings are done, I want more. I add brass, I add woodwinds, and always trying to complement it and kind of juggling between, potentializing the melody driven by the strings, or maybe trying to overtake it. So you kind of have to tone down. It's a lot of details, it's a lot of, I discover a lot of things in the process of making the song. Mm-hmm. And it's mostly experience and kind of, juggling and trying to literally build a puzzle with all the tens of instruments an orchestra has, when I'm going to do a full orchestra, that is. And I just really like it. It's very challenging, but always very satisfying.
So, because you said you play flute and piano, so everything else is it's all digital. There's no like actual strings, no, in that kind of sense.
No.
Yeah,
no. And the flutes I play, like, I don't play flute as well as piano. It's mostly like a hobby. I'm practicing to actually get better. Usually when I record flutes, I also use digital libraries because, and MIDI, because I don't have, orchestral flutes in my disposal. I don't have like an actual. I had one. I sold it years ago. Biggest regret of my life. But I had one, an actual, transversal flute, big ass, silver, beautiful. I miss it. But essentially every single sound is digital, but because it's generated through a plugin. Mm-hmm. But the instruments are played in piano, right? Or I manually draw the MIDI notes and everything. But in matters of playing the instrument, like when you hear piano in Hexatombe, and Natal Macabro and Quarentena, some of them I drew the MIDI by hand, but in Hexatombe, 100% of the pianos you listen are me playing.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
that I can say, right? But the other instruments are, yes, digital, and what you do is trying to fit in the notes and the harmonies and the layers and everything, and complement the melody you created. It's crazy work, but it's very good.
Like
Very fun.
My brain understands it from most instruments except for string instruments, because I'm like, there's such a the way you use the bow is such a big part of it as
Yeah.
well. So my brain is like, how do you both get the notes and the like attack on the
Yeah, automating dynamics. You basically in string libraries you tend to have knobs for dynamics, for vibrato strength, for tremolo speed, and everything, which you can essentially automate and animate to create realistic dynamics. So like, they're lower, the sound is weaker, the dynamics go up, the sound gets louder, the vibrato gets more intense, and you can do that. It's all manual for every single instrument, but it produces a very realistic and dynamic sound, so it's really worth it.
Yeah, fully agree. Like I was trying to like suss out if I could because sometimes, especially with strings and stuff, you can hear like, okay, no, that a key has been pressed here, because people aren't necessarily paying as much attention to the the dynamics and stuff. But with the stuff in Hexatombe, I was like, if you told me that you'd hired a couple of violinists to record that, I would have been like, yeah, no, that's what I'm hearing.
I always try to make it as realistic as possible, and I just realized, actually, in Hexatombe, some of the flutes that you listen to, especially those that play during like exploration moments or when they're home, Pomba's theme, which has a lot of flutes, those are played by me, actually. It's this little baby right here. It's
so
Piforo.
Oh, such a tiny one.
Yeah.
Piccolo in Danish? Piccolo?
Yeah, Pifaro in Portuguese. I really like this one. It has a very soft sound. I sometimes use this little bamboo flute as well, which has a kind of a less professional sound, so that intentionally works very well for some scenes. And I think my biggest flute yet, maybe, and one that I kind of really want to use, but I still haven't had the opportunity to do so, is this one. Hold on. Let me just put it together. This right here.
Ooh.
Oh, that is beautiful.
This is a Chinese flute. It's a dizi, and I love it. It's beautiful. The sound is beautiful. It plays very well, and I still haven't been able to use it in Ordem, unfortunately, but I hope I can one day.
That's gotta, for Calamidade Dois, that's gotta be a requirement. That looks amazing. I don't think I know what that would even sound like, but it looks awesome.
It's very sweet. If I turn off the noise cancellation and shit on Discord, I think I can make it sound real quick. But I don't think like this flute has this little membrane here. Right, you have to place it here. It's what makes the sound. I don't know how it's sounding. Likely it's not, because it's literally just ripped apart. But go here, and I do this, and I do this, and I do this right here. It's more of a soft sound, but it just kind of ripped apart here, so I have to glue it again. But
that's amazing.
It's very soft. The detail itself is very soft. It has a beautiful sound.
Someone was also asking if you wanted to touch on the libraries you've been using, or like what kind of software you do the composing in. You had like two.
Library-wise, you have a ton of options. You can even find some very good free ones. For starters, I would really. If I could recommend some free orchestral libraries to start, there's Eterol, you have Labs. As far as I know, Labs is free, and sorry, I just got confused. I was storing the flute. ADHD moment.
Yes.
Sorry.
Don't worry, it's in
And
the tags of
the-
the channel on Twitch,
Yeah.
so people are prepared.
Yeah. The software that both me and Guimo use is FL Studio. We've always used FL Studio, and I don't think I'm gonna switch too soon because it just works perfectly, and it's very intuitive. I learned through it, so it's a little hard to change.
Yeah.
Even though it's a software that's usually used for rap music and trap music and electronic music, we tend to do other things on that. So it works.
That's awesome. But yeah, Guimo, if, we have some people asking about like the guitars and stuff, but also you were saying that you two have some different approaches to music and composing as well. So like
Yes.
what is that process like for you with guitars and the stuff that you work together on now?
Okay, so there's mainly two ways we will do the songs. The first way is Alice will come up with a piano motive or something, or she'll compose the piece itself and ask for mainly what needs to be recorded on the guitar, acoustic or electric one. So I tend to do mainly the bass first, the bass guitars first. So I tend to work with something that's simple but lays down the structure of the song. So the rhythm guitar section comes first, at least usually, and after that I tend to go to write a solo, which is a thing that I do for Ordem Paranormal, but I am not myself a solo guitarist.
Okay.
It's not my thing to do on my personal pieces. I rarely do solos or things. I will play some lead parts, but not a full-stretched solo as we do in Arden. Usually, it's not usually what I compose, but I found some ways to get some ideas down while playing these things, mainly because my studies on guitar were mostly based on improvisation. So I kind of learned to play guitar by playing solos or creating solos itself. So listening to songs and playing on top of that whatever comes to my mind, which helps, especially when working with another person. So we can always go around the idea that I received and go and put some little stuff on the top of it. The other way is when I write them down, which I usually start by writing the drums. I tend to prefer having the rhythm structured so that I can write the riffs after. Mainly because sometimes I will write things that are in a rhythm structure that isn't the 4x4 one.
Yeah.
So I need to have something guiding me other than the metronome. It isn't enough to part some especially little changes like sextuplets, triplets, and things like that. I need the help of the instrument to guide me with the rest. So I write drums first, the rhythm guitars, and then the solos. Or depending on songs, which are some of the ambient songs, I'll just write them mainly on guitar with the rhythm ones first, as always, and then just enough solo to put a melody on it, but not to overwhelm the whole thing that it doesn't need to be upfront. I will just leash out and do everything I want when it's a theme song or a battle song. I think that's what leaves me up to creative the most. And for the atmospheric things, I tend to back down and go for cleaner tones and trying to create the emotion itself without focusing so much on the guitar. Sometimes the pieces that I don't play speak more than what I am playing at the moment. So that's that. Alice did a little of instrument showing moment, so
Yes.
I have my guitars here. So
Yeah.
okay, so this is the one I use for bright and high treble thingies or some nasty things. This is the one. I built it myself, so it has some issues, but it works. I mainly use that for the standard tuning things
Yes.
or some solos. And this is the one that I recorded Quarentena, Natal Macabro, and Hexatombe, which has been with me since the beginning. This one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It has like
Oh my god.
really...
Interference sounds.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, the
It's actually
mic
because
was
it has
guitar.
the...
Oh, okay.
I think
Amp
it's the
sounds.
cable.
Yes.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'll just leave it somewhere. We will stop screaming at us. Okay. I think it's fine. And when we play guitar, we, especially in metal genre, we have the thing that we tend to go lower in tunings and lower and lower and lower because it brings the impression of heaviness. So on the first season, we played in D. The Natal Macabro mostly was written in A, which is some steps below that.
Mm-hmm.
And in Hexatombe, we went a whole octave down. So this guitar is mainly tuned as a bass. It's
Okay.
pretty low. And which is the thing that gives the punch on the songs mainly.
Yeah.
So it's something that became usual for modern metal, like to tune lower and lower and lower and lower. And having the guitar fighting with the bass for the same frequencies. But it's something that I found that would help to give the impression of weight and the heaviness that we needed for some things. Like there are some themes that if we recorded on other guitars wouldn't work as well, like the download theme. The download theme needed to be that low and that heavy, so we used that one.
Yeah.
And let me see if in other theme we use it that lower tunings. I don't think so. We go that low for specific things, but
Yes.
mostly we tend to keep around that A or something lower than that. And mainly that's that. I try to mix the influences of the music that I listen to in the OST without overpowering what Alice wrote. So we can just together make something that shines better than when one or the other wants to overthrow each other. That doesn't happen,
Yeah.
thankfully.
That doesn't happen. Yeah.
That is awesome. And like when it comes to figuring out what pieces of music is needed, because obviously there's the whole thing with the RPG of like you don't actually know fully what's going to happen and what moments are going to be there. Is that like does Selbit give you some key words or things, or like we need this, or for these type of characters?
Yep.
Or how does that process work?
Well, when you have a story that where everything could happen, you basically do everything in advance.
Yeah.
You make everything.
Of course, not everything, because we're still making songs right now for the episode since it's recorded. Some songs are produced like after the recording is actually complete, and we have, of course, access to the entire script.
Yes.
Which is not necessarily a script because it's a tabletop RPG game. You can be literally
Narrative
scripted,
outline.
but like, yes, narrative outlines and specific descriptions and plans for the episode, and possibilities. So we usually focus on what will certainly not happen this episode, and work on the other things that need to have a soundtrack, right?
Yeah.
And I mean that's for the recordings themselves, right? For recording the episodes in the studio, because I am there playing the soundtrack for the players to listen. Although that's not the final one that goes into the VOD. I am there doing that, and so we need specific music. We need specific songs. So we always get briefed and told which songs will be needed, right? And we work on that, on top of that. So
This is the blessing of
yeah.
doing that recorded. Like when it
oh my
was
god, it's such a blessing.
live, it was like chaotic in a way that sometimes things went one over each other, and the time was short to do things. Like what happened in quarantena, we had literally 3 days to do everything we needed to do. And Natal Macabro,
Insane.
we had more time, but it still was less time than we had this time. So this time we had time to prepare, to write things. I personally did not, because I had some other work things that I needed to solve. So I had like 2 weeks that were stolen from me for that work or other work. But usually we now have a lot of time to prepare and compose things beforehand. So we don't have like any scares with what needs to be done, thankfully.
We're always thoroughly briefed. And as for how the briefings are, they are usually very basic outlines. Selbit gives us like tons of creative freedom, and usually only has like an idea of what he imagines for the song. And you know, we are allowed to express ourselves fully when we compose, which is very interesting, very good. The briefings are not too detailed. And as like a little bit for the about the question that Nifty just made, which has to do with the subject, like for the songs that are made after the episodes are recorded, made to fit the episodes, it depends if it's a looped song that will be in the background, right? Like if it's like a song for a scene that happens in roleplay, because that is just a song normally, so I don't have to worry too much about structure. And songs that are meant to integrate cinematics and animations and stuff like that. Like we had Damir's one last episode, and at the end Haziel's one, you know, those are cinematics that usually have a mock-up done, so I am aware of the structure and can compose the song on top of the narration sometimes, or the animation, so it syncs, you know, well. There are, you know, those two types of different briefings that we get, but mostly it's, you know, roleplay scenes. So it kind of depends on what we are making music for.
How much of like general OST do you prepare before recordings? Like things like overarching themes or character themes and stuff like that. Is that beforehand, or does it like does most of it come throughout in between, well, recordings now?
I think like 95% is done beforehand.
Okay.
I think. Like usually for every episode, you know, that comes, we have like the week before it comes, we are usually briefed to make 1 or 2 songs for the episode for specific moments, but most of the work was already done, you know, like we already have most things done.
Awesome. And it's like wait, what was I thinking? Like what you said, that you're there kind of DJing or mixing on the spot for the people playing. When it comes to actually like deciding which music goes where for what goes out, are you part of that process as well, or is that a separate team?
Yeah. No, that's me. Like, wait, I mean, which songs I play and when I play them? Like,
Yeah,
how do I fit
like
the scenes?
Yeah. So like deciding on the soundscape of the episode, basically.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's me. I just, you know, I sit there with the laptop and virtual DJ open, and, you know, all the OST loader there. And especially for Hexatombe's episodes, which are much freer, so to speak, they're like totally open to possibilities.
Yeah.
You can't kind of script it, right? Like the first 2 episodes were a bit more railroaded, so to speak, not necessarily, not as like in the sense of forcing a narrative, but of the possibility of things that could happen, the number of possibilities. So those usually, like when Selbit writes the script, he guides the OST, like, you know, you're reading there and okay, this part play this, this part play this, this part play this. But usually it's mostly feeling. It's just like I'm watching it, you know, there presentially in the studio, and thinking about which song fits best at the moment. And usually we have songs planned ahead of time when it's a very important moment, like a very climatic moment, or a moment that's going to happen no matter what. And then we got, we plan ahead, and I get informed and everything. I talk to Selbit, we chat a little bit there at the studio to see, to kind of decide what to play and when to play it. So it's really mostly on the spot. Like, I'm just there transitioning between songs and playing a playlist for the players to listen, and kind of guiding the vibe, or trying to get to guide the vibe through the music. It's very challenging to do that, like, at the spot, but it's much less pressure when it's recorded. So
Yes. Yeah,
holy shit, I can't stress enough how incredible for the team it is that the RPG is recorded now, because
Have time to prepare better. We don't have the pressure of the reaction that much. I mean, when we do something on a week, and on the Saturday it goes to air, and we are still feeling pressed by what we did. When we do the things with months in advance, we are relieved we came to terms with everything that we did. So the pressure is really lower. We can work far more healthy with the recordings. It's so much better for everyone.
I think, like, obviously there was a lot of community chatter and divided opinions on it before Hexatombe went live, when we were still trying to figure out if it was going to be recorded or live. But I think the result kind of speaks for itself. I think not only is it, like, from everything I've heard, is miles and miles times better for production, but also just, like, the output is better. Like, the cinematics,
way better.
Sure.
Like, the fact that you're able to clean things up and add things, and, like, we're still getting those, like, little technical oopsies, fun moments if somebody like drops something or anything, like, because it's not the video that's edited, it's just everything else gets added. And I think there's just like, I don't see a reason to go back. Like,
no, there's no reason to go back. The simple fact that you have an actual break that is not timed during the recordings. Okay, like, we're recording, and then break time.
Yes.
We'll be back after the commercials, and that little 5-minute timer, which when it was live it was 15. It's so good to pause and be able to get out of the production room and have actual dinner and talk to people and just actually chill, and you don't have the pressure of going back in exactly 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's likely the most beneficial part is the lack of time pressure that you have. You fucked up, or sometimes Selbit fucks up a narration or something, and no, let's go again, and he goes again, because you can do that. It's just better. It's just healthier for everyone. It has less technical issues. It has way more content when it goes live for everyone watching, and it allows the team to actually take care of themselves sometimes. It's important, when you have a live episode, everything needs to be prepared in advance, and that is ridiculously exhaustive for everyone involved, so it's just healthier and it's better, and I don't think there is a debate towards that matter, honestly. Like, if it's better, if it should go back, no, it should not go back. No. And we will not go back, I hope.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, we won't.
Even from just like you said, like, during the episode point of view, like, sometimes the themes or what's happening gets really intense from like player perspectives, and I feel like the point of a break is to actually breathe. But if it's just like 10, 15 minutes, you can't really kind of reset, clear your head, get back into the space you need to be.
You gotta rush out, rush to the toilet, swallow your food, go back, running. You just can't breathe, you know? The fact that you can sometimes take a like 40-minute break between the first and second half of the recording, it's very freeing. It's very it's much healthier. It's less exhaustive for everyone. No one actually stands being locked in a room with, 15 people working on the same thing for 6.5 hours straight without single pause.
No.
Right? It's not healthy to do it live, especially big seasons like Hexatombe. Like when every episode is over 5 hours, we are humans.
Yes.
We need a rest. We need a pause. Everyone needs to pause. Helmets need to pause. The players need to pause.
It's only so
the
much
sound
you
technicians.
can focus on for long periods of time. You need to just yeah. So it also sounds like some of the stuff that I've been told watching the previous seasons, because Quarantena was the first thing I watched live at a point where I wasn't quite used to watching long-form content live in the middle of the night yet, because I am in Europe. So even though it was in English, it was still a change for me to follow. So Hexatombe is I watched Natal Macabro live as well, but there's the Portuguese. I think this time around, this is the first time I feel like I can properly follow a season in the way that other people have done. Previously, I've watched the recorded versions, and I've been made aware sometimes when some music was playing that oh, this was improvised on the spot. So it sounds like the kind of stuff that you're adding on afterwards now is the stuff that would have been needed to play live during the stream, which again just sounds like you actually have more time to think about what should go there.
Yeah. Absolutely. Just it's just better. It's just better. And it makes so that it makes it possible for everyone to actually do the best they can in the team. And that's why this is, in my opinion, the best season that there ever was for Ordem.
I agree. It's really amazing. I haven't seen the two other spin-offs, Usaqueira na Ilha or Sinais do Outro Lado. So there is a jump in production that I've kind of missed. But even from Natal Macabro to now, I remember episode 4 from me, I was thinking I could point out moments that seemed like the best moments each part of each department in production had. And I was to me, that felt like a masterclass in just all sides of production for RPG. And it's just amazing to see.
It is.
So
thank you.
You Guimo, you mentioned also doing stuff for with game soundtracks. Just quickly, do you feel like there is what are some of the differences you feel between writing a soundtrack for something like an RPG versus something that has already been recorded, or the story is solid? I lost Alice.
I think Alice
Hold
fell,
on.
I think.
Hold on, let me try and refresh, see if that works. Is Alice still on the... Nope. Is Alice here?
Okay, so do we wait for her?
Alice is alive. Now her power went out.
Her power went out.
Oh my god. So usually whenever
One
technicals...
funny thing to say.
Yes.
In São Paulo, the energy company isn't from the government. It's a private company. And it mainly exists to ruin our lives. So sadly, sometimes powers went out. I was out of power for a day and a half last week. And I think yesterday or before yesterday, I was out of power for 8 hours. So
Oh god.
sadly, we're going through that.
That is crazy. Like usually on the stream we joke that whenever technical difficulties happen, it's because Anfitrião decided to come by. Maybe he's upset that there's just not enough energia. Mention, you know. All right. Well, I think Alice is just gonna see if it's gonna return, and if not, then I'll get a photo and pop her in here, and she'll rejoin the VC.
Okay.
So we'll continue and hope. So yeah, Guimo, what is it like doing RPG soundtrack versus a game soundtrack?
Okay, so in my view of the area, they are similar in the way that both have limitations. But sometimes the limitations on the game side, they are bigger. But it depends on the genre, mainly. As an example, my work for game soundtracks, it's now on a studio called Semicolon Studios, and they are working on a visual novel, which means there isn't a lot of action going on. It's a lot of text, it's a lot of things to read and things to absorb. So like I have a limit of how much how much weight and pressure of sound I can make, because it's a text-based game. I cannot overwhelm the reader, the player, with something that isn't needed for the scene, mainly. So this is one limitation. In RPGs, the limitation is similar, but it's different. It's like we have a limitation like these themes need some more weight, and then we need to pressure down the sound. These themes need to be lighter, so you have a limit of which sounds you can use. It gets harder to figure out what is the exact sound you want. Like we tried some different guitar sounds for Nota Macabro, for Hexatombe, and sometimes I came up with a sound that was like too harsh and too ugly for a scene, and I needed to tone it down. It was more a question of how it was done, when in game design wise, it is like a question of the ambient is set. You are working with a text-based game, so you cannot pull out guitars, drums, and things like that all the time. It doesn't work. It overwhelms the person that's playing. So also in that game that I'm working, we have a lot of motifs and themes that we need to follow. We do have that in Ordem, but we don't have to follow them as strictly as I do following the game. Like there's a character theme, I need to use the motif that I made for it. In Ordem we do use them, but it's lighter. We use it when we feel it's necessary to the character or to the scene to use a motif that happened before in the other seasons. But in the game wise, I think it has more place for me to express myself creatively. Like on that game, I am the only one working on the OST, so I have more responsibility, I have more things to do, but I have more space to create in general. But I have limits of what I can create because of how the game is built. Like if it was a platformer game, I would have more freedom to do things. I have more space to pull some action and write something that's faster and more dynamic, which is something that I want to do. Sometime. I think they are working on a platformer, so maybe I'll do the OST for that too. But yeah, it's pretty much that. The difference is mainly the media. It has some core differences, but they are small.
Yeah. Well, I feel like this would be a good time to also talk a little bit about Psikolera, which is another new thing that the Hexatombe has. It's like the first time I've seen them like try and do like set up the whole like the profiles and have like a fictional band and give this life outside of the
Such fun.
yeah, outside the actual RPG as a way to like create hype and stuff. Also, I've been made aware that there's a bit of a delay on my camera. I have no idea why, so I hope people will just kind of accept it. I tried checking settings and I can't suss it out right now. But yeah, so
It's fine.
What was it like writing for a band that doesn't exist, basically?
Okay, this is a great question.
Am I being heard?
Yes, you're back.
Yay.
Alice is back.
No, I'm not necessarily.
Oh.
I do not have power right now.
Oh no.
I'm through my phone. Can you hear me properly? If I speak, at least that's what matters.
We
Repeat that.
Can you hear me if I speak?
Yes. For a second, you were very robotic, but I can hear you now.
All right. It's likely like mobile signal is maybe a little unstable, but if you can hear me, that's what matters.
It is a little bit
I can
unstable.
still speak.
It is a little bit unstable.
the
Fuck me.
whole robot thing.
Ugh. Hold on.
Oh.
Let me go outside to see if it works.
Oh god. I'll grab
Okay. What about now?
Yes, that felt more stable.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think in longer sentences the robot tends to come out better.
Yeah. I mean, I'm outdoors.
I hope the weather is nice.
Okay.
Okay.
This truly is Anfitrião. I recognize that robotic
It
sound.
is. It is.
It is.
As someone said, nice weather in São Paulo is very unlikely.
Oh, okay. Well.
I am like.
I'm not
we always hope for
necessarily
it, but it doesn't.
from São Paulo, but yeah.
That is true. Not necessarily from Sao Paulo. Hold on.
We
Let
are
me-
from the same state, but not from the same city. It's the difference.
I just grabbed the picture that you posted for the go live thing on Twitter. So I'll add that in. So you're still visually present. Go
Okay.
big Alice. and then
Yay!
small. There we go. Ah, too many layers. But yes, I was asking about Psikolera and kind of the process of, well, writing for a band that doesn't technically exist.
Yeah. So
I see.
do I go?
Yes. Feel free to
Okay,
to go.
so as my experience went with that, we had a track list that
Mhm.
was written before. So, and we have like an idea of what the songs would be about, but that's pretty a rough sketch of what we would do. So, when we needed to do the song, Alice was traveling. So, in the whole band composing thing with the guitar, bass, drums, and things like that, it's a thing that I have experienced the most. So it tend to go more to my side of the
Mhm.
works. So I came down with a instrumental. It wasn't exactly what we wanted, so I came down with another instrument. So we came up with a pretty good structure of things, with like the fast beginning, it bringing up the energy, and then it all goes low and heavy for the next minute. And we did it. It was sounding nice, Alice took the pieces that I made and she changed the order where some of the things happened. So the song itself, I made it shorter, but Alice made it longer with another chorus part and like building a bridge with what I had written down, like the breakdown, which has Selbit screaming porra, which is the most amazing thing ever. And I made the instrumentals. Alice wrote the lyrics. And then we got to find out who would be the lead singer.
Porra!
That is amazing.
Exactly that. We were discussing about who would be the lead singer. We had some options, but it came down to be Guy, who is a excellent singer and screamer, and he was really the best person to do things. So we came up with a song. Alice wrote the lyrics. I came down with the whole instrumental, like drums, bass, guitar, keys even this time.
Holy shit, power's back. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yay! And then
Okay, give me a few minutes. I'll rejoin. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. We structured things together, and here we are. I mix and master the song, and then we first posted it on that Twitter teaser thingy, and then it went to Spotify. So the experience of writing something of a band that doesn't exist is hard. There is a topic thing, a thematic thing that I try not to run away from, but I try to write the songs like with real life themes sometimes, but not necessarily. I am writing some other stuff for Psikolera, but things for the future, and I try to keep things in character. Try to think the instrumental in character, like this would make sense for the band to play and such. And of course, there's the input of Alice, of what I'm doing, the input of Selbit to see if everything works with the characters, like if the sound meets the character. So there's that. I think it's a gorillas situation. I feel like it's a gorilla situation.
Psikolera is alive.
So
Perfect.
we have to
Well.
work around the characters to make things.
Yeah, did you get any description for like what type of band it was, what type of people were in it, or was it just kind of like music style?
We had the visuals of the characters. We had a bit of what musical genre we would follow, and the main inspiration, at least for Selbit. And what I try to do is take that and branch it further and connect to other music that is related to the genre in a way or another. Like the main inspiration, obviously was Slipknot. It was the main thing that we needed to follow on. But I try to branch out in the sound of other bands that I enjoy and that tend to speak with the Slipknot sound, and they connect with each other well. So it was like we had a path to follow through, but we had the freedom to enhance that path. So create something within those guidelines. Even though, I mean, there was some things going on Twitter, like people discussing what was the musical genre of the band. Some points were fair that the band doesn't follow the exact norms of the new metal scene. It's okay. This song specifically didn't went 100% on the new metal sound. But I think I myself am not a huge fan of sectoring and dividing musical genres a lot. I think things merge on each other. Music is music. We have like huge terms to define them, and I think they are enough. Like we have like rock music, and then we have inside of rock music, metal music. I think metal music is enough to define, and then each band can do their thing. Okay, I know the genres are important to a historical view, to separate movements by the time, and when that happens, it's nice. But I don't feel the need to be stuck in one sound, so I think that is what happened. We had a view of what we needed to do, and we expanded on it. But
That
that's
that is
that.
amazing. So when it comes to like lyrics and stuff, and I hope Alice comes back for this as well. But wait, so you said did you write lyrics or did Alice write lyrics for this?
I am writing lyrics, but
Yes.
not for Portal.
Okay.
Portal was written by Alice.
Yeah. So, well, why don't we then also go to the other song that I know you were producing and writing on, which was the Cindy outro
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the Calera. I don't know
This
if I
one
can't remember
was.
the name of the song, but
It
yeah.
is correct. It is correct. This one was a sad one. This one was a heavy one to do, and the main challenge for me is that we had to structure the song with only drums and bass,
Yes.
which on rock music tends to have like a huge piece missing, and so we
Yes.
had to work around that in the way that we could. Like I wrote everything like minimal. I felt like in the need of that sad song, of that melancholic moment, it would be best to go lighter in a way. So the drums weren't like peeling up every time. It was just a slow and constant groove, and the bass did a mixed work of like playing a lead part at the same time it was holding the structure of the chords.
Mm-hmm.
So it was doing the both instruments work. There are some bands that I enjoy that do that frequently. Like there's a band called Royal Blood, which is bass and drums mainly.
Yes.
And Death from Above and other bands like that are mainly bass and drums. So I took the inspiration from that. And I wrote the lyrics. I tried to connect each part of the song to one of the deceased characters. So like the chorus was the same, but some words were changed to connect one with the destiny and the other one with the fire, and so we could just branch out to them. And we wanted to have Calera participate in one of the songs, so we sent it to her. She thankfully had the time, so she recorded it on the same day. We sent it to Alice. Alice mixed it and mastered it, and everything went smoothly.
Amazing.
Where
Thankfully.
is my voice being heard normally?
Yes. You're back. Everything's good.
Okay. I'm totally back. Let's just pray that it stays like this, but I'm not gonna jinx it. Anyway. Yeah. I think that idea might have come from me or him. I don't necessarily remember, but it doesn't really matter. But I really wanted to have Calera singing something because this is the first season of Ordem that has sung vocals, actually, like
Yes.
actual vocals in numerous tracks. And there will be even more. And
I'm excited.
Calera is one of my best friends. She actually lives in my city, by the way. So like we are personal, close friends. And I just, I love that woman. And especially since we got, her boyfriend in singing
Yes.
at Psikolera, I really wanted to have her as well. And I, hit Selbit up and I was like, hey, can we invite her? Can we invite her? And yeah, of course, he really loved the idea. And it was kind of a last minute thing as well. So it really worked wonderfully. She is insane. She is incredible. She is one of the best singers I have ever seen and met. So yeah, I'm really happy with that one. I had like no part in composing it, but I loved producing, mixing, and mastering it. So it was an amazing work from everyone, everyone involved. I really like Guimo's composition as well, his lyrics, and I like to open that space. I really like it to make it clear for people, for everyone who watches and everyone who likes the songs and everything, that it's not just me. I never wanted to take any credit like all to myself, and I like sharing the credits and sharing the work and having like other friends who are also incredible artists working with me, and this is one of the cases. I really like that song. It's really good.
I think that is a really great sentiment also to have, and especially on a project like this where there are so many talented people working to bring it together. That's like one of the reasons why I want to do interviews like this, is because a lot of the time the RPG scene is like, it's Cellbit's RPG, and then there's a whole team of other people also pulling amazing stuff and amazing work, and I'm just like, there's so many talented people, and I just want to hear more about all the work and the creativity that goes into creating a project as amazing as this, because as great as Cellbit is, there's no way he could he could be doing something like this all by himself.
Of course. The
It would
team
be
is
the
incredible.
Christmas episode, like where
Yes.
he plays the songs and draws the characters and makes the 3D maps, and it wouldn't be possible.
Oh, those who have lived the insanity of creating RPG content and making it as a streamed, like a live streamed campaign, and actually doing everything. Oh my god, who would be so crazy to do that?
Who did that?
Can't think of any.
Yeah, because like I, besides music, I also do motion design and video editing. I've been doing that before I started making music, actually. And I used to draw a lot. I don't draw that much nowadays anymore, but the first campaigns that I made were all me, and I would never do that again. So even if Cellbit could, I don't actually think he should.
No.
It's terrible for your health. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Burnout is a serious thing.
No, I got a tiny taste of it. We did a six session Ordem campaign on my channel that I was the streamer but also a player in. So I wasn't a GM, but I was in control of OBS and everything visual.
Yeah, I did that too.
And trying to anticipate like themed images to go on screen with something that I didn't actually know what was gonna happen, and it was an experience for sure. But it's a fun way to be creative, but for more than 6 sessions, I think, and with a bigger scale production than that would be too much.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely, like, especially how Ordem has evolved from back then, like Segredo na Floresta or Desconjuração, to now. Like, fuck, we have literally created, not we had no part in that, but we as like the team has literally created a game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like for the cameras and maps and everything. It's incredible, dude. It's incredible.
So, as you said, this is the first time that there's been like actual vocals and lyrics written with songs. I know I saw that you tweeted out, Alice, that you were really happy actually getting to sing on an Ordem song. The Banho de Sangue, the outro song is, oh my, you never skip it. It's amazing to sit through. Not just like it's so good. It is the only song that I would love, not the tabs, but the chords too, if anybody felt so inclined. But what was that process like of now adding lyrics to something? Especially because there are certain thematic things and kind of things you can tie from the lyrics and what's happening with the Hexatombe ritual and stuff like that. So
yeah, that was mostly me being annoying. Even though I know Cellbit doesn't think that way, it's just like a fun way to put it, because I sing. I learned to sing I think I started having singing lessons in 2017, and I didn't know shit. Like I couldn't sing shit. It's not something. I was not that kid with the beautiful on pitch voice naturally that everyone thinks they know how to sing because they had, yeah, because they had a beautiful voice, but then they don't know about technique and everything. Gifts are not a thing. You have to learn to do stuff. Anyway.
For sure.
I started, taking singing lessons in 2017, and I learned throughout the years. I had a huge hyper focus on singing, and I got better. I'm kind of rusty nowadays because I haven't practiced much, but it's muscle memory. You still have No, I mean, I rusty technically speaking. I still like my voice. I still sing, but I haven't practiced, like seriously practiced or had lessons in a long time. I've had pretty good singing teachers. I've had two, Clovis and Pedro Campos. Clovis was the leader of the choir in my father's church back then. Yes, my father was a pastor. I have that past. Love you, Dad. Anyway, and Pedro Campos is an actual metal singer in Brazil. He is like a fucking monster. That dude is ridiculously good. And I had the privilege of being his student back then. So I got like, I've had very good progress and in sort of little time. And I love to sing. I always loved to sing, even when I couldn't sing. And I just wanted to put that. Like I always try to put that in my songs and RPGs. It took a while for me to actually feel safe and confident enough to record something, but even back in 2023, I started making openings with lyrics and vocals for RPG campaigns, Nevasca, Espresso Dorado, my babies, my beloveds, and I wanted to bring that to Ordem. I just wanted to sing, and Quarentena, we couldn't do that. Natal Macabro, we couldn't do that. But back in Natal Macabro, when we were already kind of pre-producing Hexatombe, we started doing that like early 2024, and then we went into a little break, and then we did Natal Macabro to finally come back to Hexatombe in about like July this year or something. And I was already like composing things and sending ideas. Like, oh my god, I had an idea for a song, and I made a draft. I recorded the vocals. I sent to Selbit, and he was like, "This is very nice, but we won't use this now." And I want to sing. But then finally in Hexatombe we did it, and he called like Banho de Sangue was supposed to be the opening for Natal Macabro, by the way.
Oh.
It was an opening idea that I had and recorded, and I said, "Hey, what about this for the opening?" And he said, not like he loved it, but he didn't, he wanted to save the big surprise of actual songs with vocals for Hexatombe, which was the big thing.
Yes.
Natal Macabro is basically a prologue for Hexatombe. So we back in Hexatombe, we already had the opening, which is not sung except for the la 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 la.
Yes.
That is done by Biff.
Yeah.
Actually,
Love it.
One
I
of
was
ours.
gonna ask about that. Oh, that's great. It's
That
great.
is Biff, one of the writers. Amazing person, amazing artist overall. It was just like an idea he had and sent, and we put it there. But we had the opening done, but then for the ending, Selbit just came one day and was like, "So yeah, we're gonna use this one for the ending," and I was like, "Yeah." And some other songs with vocals like Kibongo's theme.
Yes.
I had that idea like of making it as a northeastern popular chant, right? A lot inspired by spiritual chants, basically, from Umbanda and Candomblé, which are religions that are very present in my life. I won't say that I practice them actively, but I do have a lot of respect and a lot of love for it, and it's been in my life for years. So I kind of wanted to give an homage to that and to Northeastern music, because that's incredible. Nordeste, porra, anyway. And we just we've been putting vocals behind vocals behind vocals, and much more choirs as well.
Yes.
So vocal elements as well, like the laughs in Velisar's theme, and which is literally me going ha 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 ha.
Oh my god. Like I know I tweeted this at you, but I wanted to like mention it here as well. Like it is the first time I felt like actual horror from a song. Like I know that songs that I've like fit into the horror sound, but like hearing the laugh and everything, I was like, I felt that in my soul. That was like, oh my god.
I was like nurturing that idea, or rather like growing that idea to that song for a long time. It just popped in my head. I was at the bus station going to work at the studio, and one of the days that we went there, and the idea just came to mind, and I had to make it. I just had to compose it, and I'm really happy with how it ended up. The laughs in particular, they were like such a good idea that they were turned canon.
Oh.
At a point, like in one of the parts where Velisar shows up. That's not necessarily a spoiler, for fuck's sake. I would never spoil anything because I don't even know if it was already aired. But at some point, Selbit laughs like I did in the song while playing Velisar. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if that's already happened, but anyway.
That is awesome.
It was turned canon. So yeah, I loved voice. I loved adding voice to the soundtrack, and I hope I can do that again and do that more in the future.
So we have you singing, Psikolera singing, Biggie singing, Selbit screaming a word, Beef laughing. Are there any other people who... Exactly. Are there any other people who've done any type of like vocal stuff on the tracks, or is that?
I don't think so. At least not on my part.
Now,
I think.
I don't think so.
Yeah. For now, I don't think so. But I know that I'm gonna ask some friends for the album, the official album when it comes out. I'm gonna ask some friends to record the Kibongo chant.
Sure.
So there's like more voices in the song.
Yes.
I kind of want to make it bigger because right now it's like 20 plus layers of my own voice. So I want more different voices.
Yeah.
So it really sounds like a circle of people around the fire singing and clapping and shit. So
Yes.
That's the vibe I want to go
You will
for.
see me singing sometime soon too.
Yeah.
Oh.
There
Yeah.
will be that sometimes.
Oh, nice. So for like the choral parts, is that just like different like digital voices like harmonizing? There's not lyrics or anything to that, right?
No.
No. Yeah.
Those are choir libraries, like digital choir libraries. So they don't have lyrics. It's mostly Klega's language or just random syllables.
Yeah.
It's very used in a lot of soundtracks. And specifically choirs, that's like those huge kind of like cathedral choirs are something that are digitally made, but still composed note by note. Just it's a digital voice.
Yeah. No, I like I've done a lot of choir in my time as well, and the thing you were saying about like not having like perfect on pitch, that was kind of my story as well. I really love singing and had like okay voice, but really had to work on the hearing and the pitch side of it. But it's so fulfilling, and I like personally really enjoyed both like the orchestral but also the choir incorporation in the sound, because it just adds a certain type of epicness to things, like in a way. Yeah. And I was wondering, because I've seen some people bring up some things about like the different themes and also different elements and stuff. Is like what figure out how to phrase this. Well, just so like, is the whole like choral and orchestral part and stuff like part of the fact that there's conhecimento in this? Like, it's a different, you're mixing a different elements than you've done before, or what are your takes on like working with the different elements, like paranormal
Personally,
elements in terms of music?
Yeah. Like personally, there is that every element has its sound identity part. I don't necessarily like to always stick to it 100% because it's very limiting.
Yes.
Like, it's a blood season. Yes, there is conhecimento as well, but even when it doesn't, even back in Quarantena, when it was purely blood and energy, I still used choirs and orchestra and things like that because I don't like to be 100% limited by the identities, so to speak. I think you can still bring the blood feeling even if you have choir and orchestra, which are simply, different instruments. I think, of course, I'm not going to put like synths in there or reversed audios because those are very characteristic to death and energy, but I still like to mix things up a little bit. I think the way the song is composed, produced, the pedals that Guimo uses on the guitars, the effects, the structure, the phrasing, the mixing, whatever, that all of that brings the feeling that you want to bring for a specific element, and not just which instruments are used. So that's something that I kind of like to.
Sorry, because
go ahead.
If we would follow that fully, we wouldn't have guitar in pretty much every season except for the blood ones, because
True.
you would think specifically the guitar was only on the blood songs. So sometimes we don't follow that strictly.
Yeah, as well as combat. Like, I don't think that every single combat track must be metal,
Yeah.
It's important to know the variants. It's important to like explore different ways of conveying a feeling through a song, and if you're gonna do metal, you can do metal for every element. There are infinite subgenres of metal around. If you want to do a conhecimento metal song, you can go like a symphonic metal, a little bit cleaner, Nightwish type thing. If you want to go blood, you can go like we do. Like we use or Guimo specifically uses some very darker and dirtier sounds on guitar and effects. For death, you can always go black metal and and it's all about feeling. I think mostly the elements, more than simply having specific instruments or musical genres attached to them, the elements have feelings they should convey, and that's what I try to aim for the most. If I have to use orchestra, if I have to use choirs, if I have to use a fucking accordion, for fuck's sake, I will. It's just...
I love that. Yeah, because the accordion, like, there's been some instruments that I haven't at least, like, consciously picked up on before in the soundtrack. Like, there's the accordion that's been used more. There's I think a harpsichord or something for...
Harpsichord was used mostly in Velisar,
Yeah, for the vampire things.
Schiavoto.
Maybe a pan flute at some point?
I don't remember if I used a pan flute specifically. I used
just
flutes.
Be different kind of flutes that, for some of the more like atmospheric area type of
I think
sounds.
that was the pífaro that I showed, the little white flute that I showed.
Yeah,
I think that was likely it.
So in terms of the like feelings and trying to convey different emotions, like, are there specific, besides like the stereotypical instruments, are there specific tricks or ways to convey these emotions from different elements, different themes that you can kind of pinpoint to different places in soundtrack that we've seen so
For
far.
sure.
For either of
we
you.
use a lot of I think for guitars there are some specific things, like when we work with death themes, we tend to go a lot with reverbs and delays and reversed sounds. When I go for Sangi, the darker the theme gets, the nastier and less defined the sound becomes. So I try to convey how trashy the situation is with how trashy the sound will get. Conhecimento is really hard to depict with guitars. I mean, I can just do a beautiful lead solo and it will convey what it needs to be conveyed, but there isn't like a thing focused on that. And I think Energia is one that we didn't explore extremely with guitars, but I have ideas. I have ideas of things that I can make to make my guitar sound more robotic and to use that on future things. Mainly
Very
playing
quick,
with octave
very
sounds.
quick. Your subtitles are gone again. Just
Oh.
letting you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
It's okay. It's okay. Please go
It's
on.
mine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same problem as before. Just it's just.
Yeah, oh
There
yeah,
we
no,
go.
they're back.
I'll
They're back.
It's
just
back.
send it- Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. Please go on.
I think that was that.
Okay.
I like the idea of robotic
Yeah.
guitars.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
That sounds interesting. As for like composition and like what I said about instruments and things in general that convey different feelings attached to different elements, it's practically what I said and what Guimo just said as well. But in matters of composition, I try to go with the vibes. It's something more subtle and subjective, but it works. If I'm composing piano, right? And I think like you can use piano. Piano is one of the most versatile instruments ever. You can do everything in it. And if I'm composing piano for something more blood, I try to be more gritty and have more intensity, more liveliness. If it's conhecimento, it's usually something more virtuoso, right? It's that idea of actual knowledge and golden and bright. Death could be. I really like very high-pitched notes for death. Go all the way up the piano. Maybe some kind of looped chords and arpeggios that can work well to convey the feeling of repeatedness, and so forth and so on. So it's much like, as I said, I think the feeling that the song conveys is more important than the instruments that are used when it comes to, representing an element.
Also,
Basic.
Numa in chat, who we were talking about giving credit before. I also just wanted to shout out Numalit and Nifty Little Name, who have been brainstorming some questions and also different talking about the music with me before this. So thank you guys for helping me prepare for this. But she said, I loved a little bit we got to hear from Morche this season. I'm very curious what you will come up with on a full Morche track. Do you have any thoughts? Because I think it's one of the ones that hasn't been explored as much in the seasons you guys have done. Are there any ideas of? I mean, you mentioned high-pitched sounds and arpeggios. Are there any other things that you think could be fun to play around with for that particular angle?
One thing that I at least want to try someday is something that I don't know if you're familiar with it, but one thing that I have seen being done masterfully in League of Legends champion themes.
Okay.
The fact it's specifically Gwen's theme and Viego's theme, which kind of have the same leitmotif but reversed.
Yeah.
One thing that I want to try for Marchi is to have a theme that works when reversed as well, like a motive, that a melody that can be reversed and still work.
That
and
would
explore
be really
that
cool.
somehow. Maybe for like opposing characters, and both of them have this dynamic or something like that. I really want to try that someday, and it's incredible, honestly. Like this idea specifically, because Death has a lot of that repeat and reverse notes and reverse sounds and go back in time and everything like that. I kind of want to try with that as well. It's a specific thing that I really want to experiment on.
That would be so cool, and especially we said like with like tying it with specific characters or something to bring in leitmotif as well, so it's not just a elemental representation.
That would be incredible. That specific thing is something I really want to try on Ordem in future seasons, maybe. But yeah, I really like that concept.
What about you, Guimo? Do you have any
What about you?
guitar morchy things in your brain?
Let me think. I do have ideas. For Death, for Energia, and things like that. I think it would be a matter of the right thing coming to us for us to experiment in some things. There is a thing that there are some things that I can do digitally. There are some things that I do physically. There are some effect pedals that I have here that I haven't used in Ordem that I really want to, but didn't happen till this moment. Like, I have this thingy here, which is this, which is a fuzz pedal, which is mainly the gnarliest sound you can think so. And it's pretty robotic, so I think for energy themes, it would be great. So I'll probably use it sometimes. It's handmade by a friend of mine. And for Death things, I'd say trying to compose something where the melody speaks something and the delay works by catching the melody or reversing the delay and trying to make their work together. Like playing something, letting the delay play the same on the next part and harmonizing it at the same time so it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's an idea that I have. I hope we are able to do that someday.
Yes.
I think that
would sound incredible, bro.
That absolutely sounds very cool as well. And would work really well with like the spiral thing of like, it's like how do you do a visual thing in sound with spirals? But I think that would be amazing. Also had someone Aurea Existenz asking about how do you guys implement leitmotifs?
I like those.
Yes.
Hold on. I will be back. I am back. I always try to start with leitmotifs. I always try to, like, before I lay down a single note or pattern for the song, I try to get a leitmotif done. And what I like to do with leitmotifs is to either build up to it or build on top of it. In Raziel's theme specifically, that's one that builds up to it, because you have the cello from the start that goes higher and higher. Even those higher pitched string notes that right before the full drop of the song are a cello squeezing its way to the higher register, which in that specific case to me sounded better than just a violin doing what a violin does. And it builds up, you know, it starts with just cello, and then there's percussion, and then there's choirs, and the orchestra gets fuller, there's guitars, and eventually, boom, the motif drops, and you go, da, 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 da. That's Brazil's leitmotif. which is used in some other. It's referenced in Villisar's theme as well, and that's one way that I like to do it, which is to build up to it and then deliver it in a massive, burst of music and have it like damn chills. And then another way is to build on top of it, which is when you start with a leitmotif, like a very simple, just one instrument, and every time it plays, it's bigger. I like that approach as well. Like every time the motive plays, it is huger and has more layers to it, and it's more complete. So I think those are the two main ways that I like to approach leitmotifs, and I kind of try to do it, either one of the two, or sometimes a third option if it comes to mind. But personally, I think that's what I like to do the most. Like those are my two favorite ways to approach it, I think.
I was also thinking when you were talking about like that not every battle needs to have like metal music, that I think a perfect example of something that has that similar grandness and scary vibe that a battle music sometimes has is the Hasiel theme when they enter the circus, where it's like you can have that same full like deep fullness with like the choirs and the cellos and things that you would otherwise sometimes have. Like it has that.
It's incredible, bro. I think there's also Sabata's theme, which I really like. That one is incredible. Back when I did it, Guimo said it was like my back when I first did it, and I sent it to Guimo to record some more ambient guitars and solos. He said it was the best song I had written for Ordem back then. So okay.
By far the greatest thing you've made to Ordem. Like
holy shit.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, no. That song is really, really good. I like how it conveys the feeling of agility and fast, blink and you'll miss it, blink and you'll die. But at the same time, it's elegant, it's classy, and it's proud, I think. Which is what I always try to convey for the vampires, because in my, like, if I just worked alone and everything, if I didn't want to actually include, or rather, if I worked alone, if I didn't have one of my best friends working with me and he is a guitarist, and both me and Selbit and himself want to play guitar, the vampires wouldn't dare to touch such an impure instrument like an electric one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
it
do.
Wouldn't happen.
So like, yeah. Villisar's specifically, the Villisar's theme doesn't have guitar. It's just orchestra. But like, I like how it feels out of place, sort of intentionally, because they are from another place, right? And they are basically a separate race. They speak a separate tongue. They are not from here. They don't want to be from this world. So, and they are too proud and conservative, to their own culture and their own opinions and tastes and their classiness, their elegancy. So I really like that virtuoso orchestral vibe for the vampires specifically, and Sabata is one of them. Like, it's elegant, it's fast strings, it's woodwinds, it's a dancer basically dancing, and you can, and it's a combat track. That's what I mean. It's a combat track, and it doesn't have metal. It has guitar, but it doesn't have metal. So that's what I mean, when I say that not all combat music has to be metal. It's just, there are several different ways to explore on combat and the feeling of combat.
It's also like track for me with the choir. I kept calling it when I was watching it as like a siren songs. Like I felt like there was something kind of seductive calling in that track as well, which felt like with the fitting with like the vampire theme of like something scary and powerful, but also having that like proud and power that, yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
And another track that is, you've already touched on it a little bit, but I just wanted to explore it a bit more. That was an instant favorite, was Kibongo's theme. And it's interesting because like I obviously have very little cultural knowledge, understanding like where you were pulling from, but at the same time, when I got some of those things like explained by friends, I was like, no, that is exactly what I felt. Like those, even though I might not know the exact like religions or things that you're pulling on, I can kind of the feelings of it still translated so well. And I wanted to hear a bit more about your kind of research or inspirations with pulling from Nordeste culture and like region in the music and trying to bring that into this season.
So, on my part specifically, my girlfriend is Nordestina. Hey Lu, she's watching. And she lives in Salvador, Bahia.
Mm-hmm.
So I have visited her city numerous times. I've had a lot of contact with the northeastern culture here in Brazil, and I've seen things. I've seen the instruments. I've seen the music, the places, the history. Like I've been there, and she shows me a lot of songs that she really liked as a child or likes nowadays, from Carnaval mostly. And, you know, Olodum, everyone knows it here, which is very percussive as well. So I have that contact with Northeastern music and culture because of her and her family. And also I, you know, searched around and Google around and listened to different things and got inspiration from there, from here, from that place, this place. And I bought like 2 instruments, I think, 2 very basic instruments, but kind of added some nice depth to some songs. I bought a pandeiro and a triangle. So some of the triangles and the pandeiro that you hear in Hexatombe's OST, that's me playing as well. But I'd say it's mostly that. Like I've had that specific contact really inspired me to create more and more songs in this theme.
Yeah, I think it's really great because it's one of the things that I've enjoyed a lot through watching Ordem, is slowly getting some cultural information from different places, some like different references from around Brazil, and of course having chat to then help explain things to me or point me in different directions, and just getting in contact with things that I wouldn't otherwise get in contact with. So I really enjoyed that there are both narratively but also musically like references to the region that we're in now, and I know it's something that the community at large have like spoken about, being feeling that it's very nice that now that there's finally a non-southern season, that it's actually represented in everything. What about you, Guimo? Do you have anything specifically you pull on for those type of things?
Yes, but I don't think that I will speak for them for now.
That is fair.
One thing that I can say in general is that I think it's very important to say is that me and Alice, we are from the southeast part of Brazil. We are not from the northeast. So we are reaching to a culture that we appreciate, but it's not ours. So I think Alice did it masterfully. She pulled out everything she could in the most respectful way, respecting the structure of how things are made, but expressing them in a way that it would work. We have friends on the team that are from the Northeast, or one of our directors is from there, Clayson.
Director.
Clayson.
Yes.
Beijo, Clayson.
So,
Yes.
so we have him in the team. We have people from there. So we owe some respect to that culture. So we owe the need to
All
do
respect,
the best
yeah.
we can. So I am thankful that people from there receive it thankfully. So
That
I
was
am
my
very
favorite thing to
happy
see.
that
Yeah.
people liked it, and it didn't come out as disrespectful, because that was a fear of mine, at least, that we didn't
Mine
do
too.
it the justice we should have. But thankfully everything went right. Everything went
Yeah, no, totally. Like, I think that when Kibungo played for the first time, I think my favorite comment to read, or comments on Twitter, were like how people from the Northeast got touched by the music and felt represented by the music. Like people who are born and raised in the culture I attempted to represent, saying how good of a job I did at that, and how like well represented they feel and how it touched them. There were people who cried because, you know, that hadn't been explored in Ordem yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, this is so cute. And I just felt very, very, very satisfied and very fulfilled with that. I feel like, okay, my work is done. Because that was also a fear of mine, or not necessarily fear, but something that I was worried about. You know, like I wanted to be respectful. I wanted to be like to actually make justice.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that I was able to do that, and so was Guimo in the ones that he composed, which has the same vibe. And yeah, that was definitely one experience. As I said before, Hexatombe, it pushed us to the limits of our limits and beyond, and all the effect that had on us was totally positive. So I'm very grateful for that, like for the opportunity to explore numerous different genres and different cultures and everything, and how well people received it too.
Yeah. Lattis, who is a regular here, has mentioned before he's from the area that Hexatombe is set in generally, and has been also telling me about like how the representation is versus his experience, and also just wrote in chat, eu adorei, me lembro muito o que eu via na minha infância. So it's definitely what I've been hearing from the community members who are from that region as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, you mentioned that, you know, it's pushed you and you know, like have gone on a huge growth as artists from when you were a Call for Quarantena to now. Like, what are some of the areas, some of the things that you've had to kind of learn and explore as you were doing the job, basically?
In my part, I think it was the different genres mostly. And of course we learned, like naturally we learned technical things as well. Guimo can obviously and absolutely speak better on that matter. But like, you know, technical mixing things, mastering tips and tricks and everything that you learn with time that really help and that really have an impact on the quality of the sound. But mostly composing, it's I think it forced me out of a comfort zone, so to speak, because I always liked orchestral music. I always liked composing orchestral music and metal music, but I hadn't really explored much beyond that, and I had to do it for the different themes that every season approaches. So I think it's the diversity that was the
Yes.
biggest challenge in that way, and that which really grew on me was the diversity of influences I had now, like my inspirations and where I got my references from and everything, all of that, like that board has expanded very, very noticeably, I think, from back then to now, you see.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, to being completely honest, I don't see myself as the best guitar player ever. I do know things a lot. I do study a lot. I am a teacher. I dedicate a lot of my time studying and getting better. But since I entered on Ordem, I wasn't at my full capacities yet. And as I said before, I am not a solo player, usually. I write leads and such, but it's not my thing. So Ordem pushed me to do things that I myself wouldn't do in songs that I would write. And it pushed me to the skills that I have on a level that I wouldn't reach that fast. I think, at least. So
Yes.
I pretty much speedrun some years before Ordem and after. Like I became completely obsessed with playing like in 2020 and 2021. So I when I entered Ordem, I was playing guitar for 2 years, which is
Just 2?
just years. But I was really nerdy at it, so I really speedrun some time. And when I
focus
entered,
moment.
when I entered on it, and Alice asked me to do things that at the time I heard and I was like, no, I cannot fucking play that. And it still happens nowadays. Sometimes Alice will send me something and I'll say, okay. The first reaction is, I cannot fucking play that. And after that, I'll breathe and think out how I can pull out that, and sometimes it works. Like the Chispa team was the hardest thing that I probably done technically, as in speed. It was so fucking fast, the whole song, and it was suffering. It was complete suffering to record. I had like to do bursts of recording. Like I record a minute and stop. Take 30 minutes to rest my hand and go and record another minute and stop.
Yeah,
Because
tendonitis is very
physical
serious.
Oh, yeah.
I acquired that, but do finish. Sorry.
But yeah, I think it mainly pushed my technical skill of playing, and it pushed me to study more, to get on new genres and things that I wouldn't normally listen to make the best. And I think the thing that makes me a good player is trying to find the right thing to do in the right parts of a song, rather than being the fastest guitar player, the most technical guitar player. I think it's more of what I can tell with the story, with what I will write. So
Absolutely.
thankfully Ordem had a place for me to grow on that. Alice was really patient on me on sometimes that I wasn't ready to play some things. So thankfully I could get some of those expectations fulfilled. And thankfully it pushed me further in that aspect.
I think
Totally. Yeah, please.
no, it's just what you said about like being the fastest guitar player. I feel like sometimes, at least with singing, and with being a soprano as well, I like there's this idea that the higher notes you can reach, the better of a singer
The
you
higher
are.
you go.
Or like, and with guitar, like the faster your fingers can move, the better you are. But that's not what music is about. It's about like what you can convey, the stories you're telling and the emotions you're putting forward. So, I think in that way, something like RPG and what you're like talking about is the perfect marriage of like trying to focus on what can I tell with this, instead of just like how can I show off technically.
Exactly. I do that a lot in singing, as you said. Like, my vocal register would be a baritone, And my natural voice, my speaking voice, especially if I relax, if I don't force, it's very low. Like, I'm not forcing my voice now. Like, this is my relaxed range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I usually speak like up here because it's a bit more natural. But my main difficulty learning to sing was actually reaching high notes at first. And since I started learning from now, my range has, expanded like 2 octaves or something.
Mm-hmm.
And in Banho de Sangue specifically, I kind of go to the 2 extremes
Yes.
in singing, because I start like a luz do sol me aquece, very, very low, but the chorus is super, super high pitched as well. And I like that extension. I like the discrepancy between a part and the other. And I think it's also something that, helped me sing better, was actually learning this song and recording it and composing more and more vocals, both for Ordem and for personal projects. And I'm actually this is very unrelated, but I'm like making another original album for me and myself, just me, my own stuff. Guimo will record some solos for it. It's always a good experience to compose something for yourself, always, because I work a lot, I compose for a lot of projects and projects that I love, but it's it's always a different thing to compose something that you want to make your own art because you want to make it.
Yes.
And but that's another subject, basically about the technical advances that Ordem made us achieve. I think Guimo's is extremely perceptible. Like, if you just compare any guitar recording from Quarantena to now Hexatombe, it's almost, as he said, it's like a speed run. It's 10 years of progress in 2 years, right?
It's insane.
Incredible to see. Both in technical, like recording equipment, and in playing. And I mean, yeah, it's always when we are challenged and we are forced out of a comfort zone that we actually evolve, both as people and as artists. So I'm really grateful for that too, like for the opportunity to become ever better in what I do.
Do you think that you're still able to kind of put some of your, it's like yourself, or like your own stories, experiences in the music that you're producing for Ordem, despite it being for someone else's narrative?
Like music-wise or lyric-wise?
Either.
Okay. I think music, at least for me, like music is art and art is feeling. So it's kind of, I at least have a ridiculously tough time separating what I feel from what I need to convey. Like what I'm feeling at the moment. If I'm feeling a little bit, depressed or down, I simply cannot compose an uplifting song,
Yes.
And I kind of can do vice versa, but still it's difficult, and it doesn't really what's the word, hold on, give me 5 seconds.
Take all the time you need. I've just realized that an ad is running,
it's
so
okay.
you can stall however long you want.
Add time.
Yeah. Sit in silence and stare.
Whoever blinks first is gay.
What is the hand? The hand
Oh,
sign
yes.
like this.
Oh yeah, it's like hold on.
I am not a Naruto fan
like
enough to do
this.
things like that.
It's kind of like this.
Nice.
My fingers are they kind of do this, so it's a bit tough for me to keep that position.
Artistic rendition
All right.
of Sengi.
Yeah. But anyway, what you feel will always, like, what you're feeling at the moment you compose a song will always be somehow conveyed in the song. It's energetic, I believe. It's what you actually feel, and if you actually, you know, try to lie to yourself or lie to the audience or compose something that you're not feeling, like, it kind of sounds fake. I've done that in the past several times. I've had to do that. Like, I have to compose a song that, you know, gives this feeling, but I don't want to. I don't want to write music now. I'm not feeling well, but I have to do it. And when I listen to it again, I can hear that, and maybe I'm the only person who can, but I still can. So that's the main thing I would say. So yes, there is a piece of me in every song that I made, and every song that I will make. I don't think there's anything specific I can point out, like in matters of a specific story or something that I was feeling and I kind of intentionally and subjectively inserted in a song for Ordem or something like that. But the feeling itself is always transcribed, whether you like it or not. I think that's my approach towards this specifically. But yeah, there's a piece of us in every piece of art we make.
What do you think, Guimo?
This is a hard topic to talk about, at least for me, but it's fine. It's last year we recorded the Natal Macabro OST, and I recently lost at the time one of my dear family members, my grandma, who basically raised me, and I was in a really bad place to work, to do things at the moment, but I pushed through because, as sad as it is, no one is responsible for tragedies that happens on one's life, so we kind of have to deal with that. Adult life sucks, I guess.
Yes.
So I feel like when I recorded the songs for Natal Macabro, I felt heavy and I was releasing some of those things. So I think solo wise it was brute, it was forceful, it was exaggerated at some points, because I think it was how I was feeling at the moment. So it was like a mean for me to release things that I was feeling at the time, dealing with everything that happened. So I 100% agree with what Ali said. It's very hard to convey something you're not feeling in a song when you're not feeling that. So I feel like Ordem has this thing that it's really connected with our emotions. Like the sad songs are really sad, the angry songs are really angry, and everything is really touching the feels of the person that's watching, and so much for us that make the things too. So I'd say it's hard sometimes, as Alice said, to separate what you're feeling and what you're trying to convey while you are writing it. So I think that's it. This time, I think I was in a lighter place, so I could explore other feelings. I could branch out to happier and not happier things and see what works. And I had more emotional freedom to do things that at the time I did. So I myself don't listen a lot to what I made for Natal Macabro because I hear it heavy in some ways, but it's
Makes sense.
me because of my connection with what happened at the time. I still have a lot of love for things that I did for that season specifically, but it's not something that I listen to on a daily basis in general. But I really enjoy things that I did at the time, the things Alice did for the time. But yeah, I think it's really hard to separate what we feel and what we try to write down.
Yeah.
But with the years and working with that, you learn to separate that in a way that's healthy for you.
Yeah, surely. Like, one thing that I want to like to add to what he said is Mainly when you're feeling more neutral or when you're feeling well in general, it's easier to transit between feelings without overwhelming yourself. When you're in like a healthier headspace, which I am definitely not in last few months, last couple of years. But I usually can, keep myself neutral when I have to, like work mentality. But when I write a song that has to do with what I'm feeling right now, it's definitely perceptible. Like there's a song of mine that is from another project. It's a personal album as well called Night Mother, which I wrote I literally wrote it, like the lyrics, during a breakdown. So you can feel it, right? You can definitely feel it. And me and Guimo, especially since we inevitably have, like a lot of people, we always have some sort of repressed inner sorrow. When we write sad songs and sad music, it's always a fucking blast. Like we always do something incredible. I go with the piano improvs and the orchestration, and then he adds the fucking solo and everything, and it just becomes the most disgustingly devastating song ever. And
I am a emo core kid, so I
Of course,
I can't
yes.
resist to make something that is beautifully sad sometimes.
And it's amazing. Yeah. I think it's what you said about Ordem, that it connects to our emotions a lot, and I think that's one of the things I really admire and enjoy about the project, is that everybody has, whether, like, at least from everybody I've spoken to in the community, and it seems like from production as well, has like times where they, whatever was going on in whatever season of Ordem they were watching, just connected to what was going on in our lives, and it'd be like they're touching on a lot of like mental health things that people can relate to. A lot of people, found it during lockdown, which was a tough time for a lot of people. I found it during a tough time as well. Also, not been doing the best the last couple of years, and this community and engaging with this RPG has definitely been a highlight, but also it's because there's such heavy topics involved, it becomes cathartic in ways to see that played out, or the conversations you can have with people about what is happening on screen, and seeing that mirrored in characters, even though, we obviously can't can't relate fully to the whole paranormal aspect of it, or at least I hope no one here has had any run-ins with blood zombies in their real life. But there's still all the themes and the heart of the story, of the stories, are still very, very real. And I think you can tell that it's a piece of art that every side of production puts a lot of soul into, that it's not just another job that you have, because it conveys so many things for so many people.
Absolutely. And actually, my first release song was like it has a quite like a very deep emotional backstory. Like trigger warning, S-word mention, okay. Self, thingies mentioned, just to let everyone know. I'm not going to go in details, don't worry. It's I don't want to pesar o clima. I don't want to weigh the climate here and the vibes. I don't want to bring the vibes down. It's just a personal thing. I'm all right. Yes. I don't mind speaking about it. Don't worry. Just to be sure. I mean, to be clear. Okay. The first song that I released, called Lemuria, is a dedication to one of my best friends, who has the same nickname. And it was, I made it to her after she saved me from a S-word attempt, right? So, like, I was in the darkest headspace in my life, I think, because, of course, 2020, duh. And, like, it wasn't a good moment, and I recall vividly, that I had made a decision, and she made me not take that decision, thankfully. So that was a dedication to her. So emotion always has a deep meaning in work that I do, in every single work that every single piece of music, every single piece of art. I always try to convey as much emotion as I can, because I hate making something that's not genuine.
Yeah.
I don't like pretending. So that's me, I think.
Yeah, I think art kind of deserves that. Like, if you're gonna create something, you should do it because it has a meaning, and there is a purpose for you to do it, instead of just because. Also, I missed who sent this because I put it through Google Translate because it was a little too long for me to skim read in Portuguese. But someone was asking about if you wanted to continue including vocals in tracks, which we touched on earlier that there will be more of. But also if you have personal work. You've mentioned a few times that you've done an album and stuff, because they would like the link, because they really appreciate the tone, that tone of voice in music.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I have currently two, other than Ordem songs, two albums that I did. I mean, one album that was not commissioned. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I have two albums from the universe of the Ruptura RPG that I played, which is one of the most important ones in my life. It's literally how I met my girlfriend. And I made the OST, but then the second album that I made, the first one was Incarnate. You can check on my Spotify and every streaming service. Literally my last name, Schiavoto. And the first one was Incarnate. It was commissioned. And then the second one was not. It's Death to Life. I really, if you like my work and you want to hear something fully personal, do listen to that album. It's very short. It's like 6 or 7 tracks, and it's really, really personal. It's incredibly good. It's, me doing music because I want to, and the way I want to do it. And there's the last song, which I just mentioned, Night Mother, is totally sung. So I really recommend you listen to that. And of course, my subtitles are gone now. Hold on. And I want to ask you to always be, watching out for my social media and everything, because of course after we get through Hexatombe and we release the album and we do what we need to do, and I cannot wait. I am as excited. We are as excited for you for this shit to release. Maybe even more. I dare I say. Be in watch out, because after that, and this is personal, it's a personal work, I will not only, go back to working on it, but announce eventually next year, the first half of next year, my next fully original authorial album. And that one will be the most important piece of musical work I have ever done, I think. Because it's by far the most personal thing that I will have published by then. Because even Death to Life, even though it's totally personal, I still made it in thesis for another universe, right? I made it because I wanted to. It's very special to me, but it's a universe that I didn't create, a story that I didn't create. And the album that I am going to do is absolutely me. It's the most me thing everyone will ever listen. So I'm really excited for it, and just letting everyone here know beforehand, don't fucking miss it. Really, don't fucking miss it. I can show you, Mel, after live stream is done, I can show you a few demos if you want to.
Yes,
listen.
absolutely. No, I'm excited for that. I just put at least the Twitter or X accounts of
thank
you
you.
guys there, and also I found the Death to Life playlist on YouTube Music, so that link is in chat
Nice.
as well. And yes, as Nifty also said, Guimo, what do you have going on? Do you have any things you want to shout out?
Okay. So this year I have released 2 albums for 2 different bands. I will write the names down, maybe for searching purposes.
Yes.
But the first one was called Penumbra, for a band called Sala Vazia Silêncio, which was a band that I had that sadly by this year it has ended. But we have an album that we did with a lot of love. If you are a fan of bands like Queens of the Stone Age or things like that, it has that sound vibe thingy going on. It's something that we made with a lot of love to do. After that band ended and other things happened with work and life and such, I was really heavy on doing music for myself. It wasn't being easy for me to do. So I started a new project mainly for doing things lightly, for taking things in a more healthy way. And it was my first metal band album of my metal band called Flores, which is from my band called Projeto Flores. We have released the first album, me as a solo, and now we have a bassist and a vocal. So we are just in search of a drummer, as always.
Classic.
We are recording new material. So if you like the things that I did on Ordem Paranormal, which are more metal focused things, you will probably like the second one best. Both were
Nice.
released this year. Both are on Spotify and other music streaming platforms. So give it a try if you like.
Absolutely.
And we're working on the future, 2026.
Yeah.
It's looking good so far.
It's definitely
good.
looking good. Yeah.
That's good to hear.
It's going to be a very good musical year. I teased about this album in the past few months and Twitter. Like, some people try to guess the name. None of them got them right yet. So I will, eventually everything will be properly revealed. And I, of course, had to pause production on it because of Hexatombe. Totally normal, because I can't focus on 2 albums at once, unfortunately. My days do not have 72 hours, unfortunately. I wish they did. But yeah, but I mean, I'm just very, very excited to just release music and have people listen to it and share what I'm feeling genuinely, and share what I have worked on for a long time.
That's awesome.
And bro. Yeah.
That's how you know. That's how you know it's not one to miss.
It's not one that's
here towards the end, even though I feel like I should have done this before asking about your personal things, but sometimes we go a little around the chronology. I just wanted to hear a little bit about your thoughts about Ordem in general. Like, what do you think makes this universe or project interesting? What about it speaks to you? What are some of the themes you find interesting to dig into?
Please begin.
Okay. I'd say for me, Ordem mix some funny things. Like, we have a lot of what I said before, that emotional depth, like a media that we listen, we watch. Anyway, you consume it. You appreciate what the characters are doing. You connect with their histories. It's such a thrilling thing to watch and to get yourself involved with. And as a viewer, it is amazing what it can make you feel as you watch it. The players do an amazing job at that. Selbit does an amazing job at telling that history. As for the fandom, the fan content, the arts, the music, and things like that is so great to see a lot of very talented people doing some things that we found like very impressive, and it's insane to see that because we kind of came from the same place. We were, yes, from the RPG content creating community. It is large in Brazil. We have a lot of people involved, and a lot of our friends from 5 years ago are now on the team. Like, there's me, there's Alice, there's Stefano, there's Biff, there's Bolachita who made the masks. There's Mel Gelling. There's so many people that I will eventually forget someone. But it's like seeing every one of us there. It's a feeling that I cannot put in words how great is it. It's like being part of that with the friends that are there. It's just I cannot find words to explain how amazing this is. And I think as an artist, there are some great payoffs in creating something, and that something reaching so many people and in a so positive way. Like I never thought in my life I would hear someone saying they started playing because they heard something from the OST, and it just breaks my heart in the best way possible. Like people starting to play, people turning back to play guitar after years of not playing because they heard something I did, or making the covers of the songs that we made. It's a love that it's so pure and so great to receive from our work. It's just, I really try to explain this in words, but it's just heartwarming to be part of this and to be part of something that it's so important to us and so important to many people. It's like, it's an honor, which I think it's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Absolutely an honor. Yeah. To me, it's not an overstatement to say that Ordem saved my life, I think, because it was one of the main things that kept me going back in 2020, and I'm forever grateful with that. I had some things and hobbies and things that I liked to watch and to produce that kept me going through the darkest times, and Ordem was definitely one of them. I always wanted to be there, you know, and watch and see how the story goes on and get inspired by it. And it has a very, very deep meaning to me. I would never tattoo something that doesn't. And I think even if, you know, it's I tattoo something that's temporary or something, it will have had its meaning, and that's what matters. But Ordem saved and changed my life, always in the best way possible. It really inspired me to get me going. It inspired me to create my own project, which would later make me known and my work known and appreciated, and, you know, actually have people listening to my art and seeing my work. And not for the praise. I couldn't give less fucks about the praise or the numbers or whatever. It's just like, I like to be recognized and to have my art touch other people, you know. And exactly as Guimo said, it's really indescribable how much of an honor it is to be part of a project that changed us and meant so much to us. And not only us, but all the other friends who we met because of this same project years ago.
Yeah.
Also, you know, joining the team little by little, and, you know, we always think back and we remember, we, like, everyone on Discord, you know, night after night, underslept, developing their own projects and trying to get some recognition. And fast forward 3 years and we're here. That is really, really indescribable, and it's always going to have the most special place in my heart, and I love it. I love this project. I love working on it, and I really hope I can continue working on it for years and years to come, because It's one of the most important things, definitely, in my life. So it's really good to be part of, you know.
Yeah, like the chat right now is full of love for you guys. I think the words you're saying is definitely like speaking to everyone, and it's like even just like the small part of that journey I've had with, like, I started streaming as also a way of, you know, having a creative outlet that I could handle at the mental health level I was at, and then finding the Ordem community, and then creating a little online community friend group through it, and seeing that come together has also been absolutely amazing. And I just love hearing the different versions of that story echoed throughout everyone in the community and everyone on the project. It is like I've said several times in the stream, I think it's one of the things that makes Ordem what it is, or as special as it is, because that's what it's built on. Yeah, Guimo's phone has died.
Phone's
Still here.
dead.
Still here, but
I'm still here.
visually no. But yeah, it's yeah, I just think it's an amazing thing. I told chat that to ask a couple, like, their last questions, because we were rounding up. Nifty asked, do you have a favorite Ordem song or album that you didn't work on, or also one that you did work on?
I could answer this very quickly. To me, it's Kian that I didn't make. That song is a masterpiece, and that I did make Haziao.
Yes.
Period.
I understand.
I think that's it.
It's a hard question. It's a really hard question. Let me say. The favorite song that I've made with Alice would be Gun. Gun is a song from Quarentena, which is one of the sad ones. This is probably even though it's like from the earliest point of our career in Ordem, it's so magic how great it came out. So I think
Totally.
I hold it very dearly to me, to this day. It's hard for me to point a specific one from the whole OST. I'd say the Desconjuração OST in general is my favorite, even though the Calamidade has amazing themes, and the Devil's theme is one of my favorites. But I'd say the Minotauro theme is one of my favorites too. But I'd say the Desconjuração soundtrack is my favorite in general. I think it was in a place that I was very connected with Ordem before being a part of it. So I think those were more those marked me the most, I think.
Yeah, I think Familia is a song from Desconjuração that just cannot help but feel a lot of emotions every time that plays, both because of the music, but also because of when I first heard it with chat and everything. It was our outro song for a little bit because of just, yeah, it's a beautiful song. And then I don't know if you've already commented on this, but have you ever had a recording error when you realized it was actually a play that turned out well and stayed in the soundtrack? Like happy accidents.
Not necessarily. Yeah, like I personally don't think I can recall of one specific. I don't think I've had like something that I made wrong, but then just decided to keep it. But usually some things that were more unexpected. But I think that's one question that I can't really, answer directly, because I don't think I can, come up with an example.
Yeah, that's
personally.
so fair. Do you think theorists should pay closer attention to the music because I see theorists diving into like every other section with like going through all the 3D tabletop and every document and stuff, but it's not as often I see people looking into like leitmotifs and themes. Like, do you think it would be worth looking at stuff like that?
I wouldn't say or don't think it would be like essential, but I would definitely love to see it.
Nice.
Like I would definitely love to see people trying to figure stuff out from the music. That would be very interesting. Because of course when we do the music, we have privileged information. So we know the characters that we are composing for, the scenes we are composing for. So even if not intentional, maybe there are hidden messages, maybe even hidden to ourselves, that other people could try to figure out and come up with very interesting theories.
Yeah, I was Nifty in chat is usually our little music guy who's bringing up, oh, by the way, did you know that this theme has also played in other places? And every time I'm like, I should take more notice of that. I should look into the leitmotifs more. You know, I feel like there's so many variations of the different songs where you feel like, wait, are there layers of other things happening here? That could be interesting. He's been saying I've been trying that for years. Has the music ever inspired the actual story in Ordem, or could it ever do so? We're just rapid firing the last couple questions.
What do you
I
think?
don't remember any event where the music itself inspired the plot. I don't recall that happening before.
Yeah, usually what happens is the music is somehow part of the story at the moment. Like sometimes the music contains effects or melodies or sounds that are canonically being played or heard in the story, which is very interesting. Belisar's laugh is one of them. That scene in episode 7, I think, when Ale heals Franco, the keyboard.
Yes.
You know, that's something as well. Like, Selvit asked me to create a very short, like, keyboard solo and reverse it.
Yes.
And it's
a
part
little
of
bit
the
of
song.
morting.
Yeah, it's part of the scene and the story.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm just sort of to type because I saw several people in here saying that they really love leitmotifs and looking into that. I was just like, you music fans, you're so welcome to come back to Future Theory streams. I'm also watching O Segredo na Ilha and Sinais do Outro Lado in the future, and I would absolutely love to hear people give more input on the music because there's a lot to pay attention to when you're also trying to understand Portuguese. Oh yeah, do you have a favorite leitmotif that you've written?
I didn't write it, but Haziel.
Amazing. It is an amazing song. I feel like piece of music. I feel like it combines so many of the strong suits of this season in one piece.
Yeah.
And I think finally, final question: if you had free reign, what is a style, type of track or instrument you would want to do for a future season? Alice, you kind of answered that earlier with the flute, but is there like another thing that, like, if Selbit were to say, I will make it fit, what is something you think could be fun to explore?
Instrument wise,
style or genre, anything like that, or instrument, just any wish
that I want to experiment on. I think not necessarily a genre, but a theme. I really like composing cosmic horror stuff. So and we haven't had much cosmic horror in Ordem, so I kind of want to bring that vibe as well.
Okay.
But definitely, I want to use the flute. I bought this flute. I want to use it.
Yes.
I'd say in the general thing, I thankfully, I think I was able to pour like the most of the things that I imagined and wanted to put in Ordem. So a lot of that question was answered as the soundtrack of this season.
Amazing.
But as instrument wise, have you heard of cavaquinho?
No.
Instrument.
No, but I'll
It
look
doesn't
it up.
fit at all. It doesn't have a place in anything that is in a happy or light scene. But I really would like to do something with it. Like,
Oh, wait.
Really?
No, I have.
I am dying for that to happen one day or another in Ordem.
I mean, there is that. Yeah. I just realized we talked about this in Discord like a day or two ago.
I think so. Yes.
Yes. I mean, there is that little kind of silly track when silly stuff happens. I feel like you could fit something in there, a little like.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we
Like,
could. Yeah,
it,
totally.
it would be amazing. I dream to this moment, to this day.
Okay, I did ask saying as, do we have time for a last non-Ordem question? Because I would love to see all of your Spotify Wrapped, just out of curiosity. Do you have any shout outs from your Spotify Wrapped?
Spotify Wrapped. Let me see. I had saved some, but I usually don't take Spotify for granted to what I actually listen to the most, because sometimes and most times I listen to like shuffles. So
Same.
especially if I'm like traveling, if I'm at the bus or the plane or something, I tend to shuffle things, or get an specific album to listen to. And also, I am very sorry, but I am my biggest fan. So I am always in my own Spotify Wrapped.
Listen, you should be. You should be.
Of course, yeah. No, definitely. And I don't remember if there's any specific ones, but of course, two bands that will always be there, and which are my favorite bands, is Avantasia and Camelot. So
Nice.
that is something to take note of. Avantasia
Yes.
and Camelot are my favorite bands. And Angra as well.
Okay. Yeah, my I don't have
I'd
Spotify.
say the
Oh, go ahead, Guimo.
no, it's fine. I'd say the band that dominated my Spotify this year was Thornhill. They are a new metal band from Australia. I am completely obsessed by them. There's Loaf, which is a UK British black metal and things like that. Shoegazy band. They are pretty much the band that inspires me to write riffs as the way I do for Ordem. So they are the references for me.
Mhm.
A lot of Brazilian bands, a lot of small bands from friends and such. I think that's that. And there is the thing of the shuffle, so a lot of things that doesn't fit this whole rock and metal thing, like listening to samba, pagode, and things like that.
Nice. Well, I think that is everything from me and chat right now. Thank you so much for agreeing to this and for coming to talk to me and talk to us. I think it was really great.
Always.
I don't know. Do you have any final things you want to mention? Shout outs you want to do again? Anything like that?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I think I spoke everything that needed to be spoken.
Nice.
And I am just, in general, again, thank you very much for inviting us. I really like talking about, our work and talking about Ordem and talking about art and music in general. And I love when I have the opportunity to actually speak English and not get rusty.
Oh.
So it's also very good.
Literally
And,
anytime. If you
yeah.
have the urge to do like a track by track when the stuff comes out, you just let me know. I'd be so happy.
That's gonna be
It's a great idea.
very interesting and also very long, because I have an kind of a sort of privileged information, so to speak,
okay.
which is absolutely not a spoiler and
No.
nothing. We will never spoil anything, guys. We have signed an NDA. but it's mostly something that will get you all hyped, I think, because this Hexatombe's album will absolutely be the longest one with the most amount of tracks
sure.
in the history of Ordem. And
Hell yeah.
currently, we are sitting at nearly 60 tracks.
What do you mean currently?
Currently, we have more to do.
Okay. Well, if you want to do some track by tracks or a track by track series, let me know. Maybe not a single
We will
stream
part
with
it
all
half
of them.
and half.
Yes.
We can do like part 1 and part 2.
Yeah. No. But genuinely, I'm so happy to have you guys on anytime you wanna talk about something. The work that you do, be it Ordem or some of the other stuff that you're doing, because I really enjoy hearing talented people talk about passion, that they like their passions and the work that they do, and yeah, I feel like it puts a lot of good energy into the world and into my life. So
No, absolutely.
you.
Yes, we definitely should do that when the album comes out. And again, thank you a lot for inviting us. It was a great pleasure. And it will be incredible. Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
And I do say the same, like anytime, if you want to invite us or if you just want to chat, we are here and we love chatting.
Amazing. Thank you. I will try to internalize that and believe it.
Please do believe that.
Guimo, do you have any final words? Anything you want to put out?
First
for-
of all,
well-
thanks so much for inviting us. This space is something so precious to see, to be able to speak more about the things that we've done in a more centered way. Like more people will hear to it, more people will get to it, and no distractions from being on another social media that it's so noisy with a lot of text and images and such. It's nice to stop by and breathe and talk about the things that we've done so dearly. So thank you very much for that. Anytime you want to do anything, just hit us up.
Absolutely will.
I'd like to thank everyone that spent some time of their day hearing us babble our stuff. Thank you all so much for being here. Listen to small bands. I cannot stress this enough. When Ordem stops, when other things are happening, the musicians have other works. Alice has their solo project. I have bands. A lot of people have bands. Everyone have their individual solo projects. So take some time to appreciate the work that people that give you Ordem make, because these are like, if you like what Ordem provides, there is a lot of words that are created by such talented artists. So take some time to see that too. There's a lot of great to look out for in
Absolutely.
in our community. And for people that are starting playing and like to play and started play or came back playing because of Ordem, thank you so much. It's an honor to be a part of someone's life like that. I hope I can
Totally
honor that someday.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Absolutely.
Oh God, all of them didn't work. This is so, wow. Okay, we're doing it one by one. Twitch, I tried to put all the links in one. Posting some links here of both where you can find me and also where you can find these guys. I stream here and VODs go on YouTube, as well as I do Ordem Theories on YouTube. I talk about Ordem on here. I also do like gaming streams, puzzle games, kind of some more like narrative focused stuff, and it would be cool if people want to stop by for that as well. Right now, while Hexatombe is going, it's mainly Ordem focused because that is all my brain can think about. And yeah, we have a good time. some culture things as well. I think it's really like I'm very aware that most people in my chat are Brazilian, and it's been amazing to learn about Brazil and different cultures through this crazy experience. Tomorrow, if anyone's interested, me and another Gringo fan, Violet from Scotland, I believe, will be talking about episode 8 and doing some theories, and she's going to be doing some art as well. She's Violet Patella on Twitter and does really cool art. So if you want to come and have a chat, feel free to be here. But yes, again, thank you so much. This has been amazing. Thank you to so many people have followed, and I feel sad that I haven't really been able to keep up and shout out names, but thank you so much, everyone. I have seen every single one. I appreciate it. And thank you for chat for participating and for asking questions. That's awesome. Oh, okay. Perchiachi. Thank you for following. But yeah, I think that was everything from today. Thank you so much. This was awesome. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you so
and
much.
a great weekend, and that we all survive whatever is coming our way tomorrow on Hexatombe. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, good night, boa noite, buenas noches, boa nuit,
Bye, people.
bye-bye, adios, farewell.
Bye.
Ciao.